The sun was setting as the Roberts family cruised down a picturesque mountain road. Mark was at the wheel, enjoying the drive with his wife, Laura, sitting beside him and their young son, Tommy, in the back seat. Suddenly, a deer darted across the road. Mark swerved to avoid it, but the car careened off the edge, plummeting down a ravine and landing in a fast-moving river. The car was carried downstream toward a sheer fall. Moments later, the vehicle was swept over the waterfall, crashing into the pool below. Fortunately, a group of hikers on the riverbank saw the accident unfold and rushed to help. Mark managed to hold on to Tommy as they were pulled from the wreckage. However, Laura was swept away by the powerful current before she could be rescued. Desperate moments turned into hours. Despite an intensive search, there was no sign of Laura. Mark and Tommy were taken to safety, their hearts heavy with sorrow and loss. Miles downstream, Laura washed ashore, unconscious and battered but alive. As fate would have it, a fisherman named Miguel found her as he tended to his nets. He carried her to his small cottage in Cartagena, a remote village on the river's edge. When Laura woke, she could not remember her name, her family, or anything from her past life. Miguel nursed her back to health, and she came to believe that he was her husband. Miguel, a kind and solitary man, didn't have the heart to correct her. Gradually, a bond formed between them. Months passed, and Laura adapted to her new life. She helped Miguel with his fishing, and became a beloved member of the small community. Every now and then, flashes of her old life would flicker in her mind. But they were too fleeting to grasp. Meanwhile, Mark and Tommy were moving on with their lives, always hoping that one day Laura would be found. One fateful day, a tourist from the city visited Cartagena and recognized Laura from news reports. The news spread quickly, and finally, Mark learned about the whereabouts of his beloved wife. He traveled to Cartagena, barely able to contain his emotions. When he reunited with Laura, she looked at him blankly, unsure who he was. Mark explained everything, showing her photos and recounting memories that stirred something deep within her. Though the process was slow, Laura began to remember. Torn between two lives, she faced the painful choice of returning to her past or staying with Miguel. Miguel had shown her kindness and love when she needed it most. After much soul-searching, Laura decided to return with Mark and Tommy, hoping to rebuild the life she once had while cherishing the bittersweet memories of her time in Cartagena. Miguel, though saddened, understood and wished her well, thankful for the brief but meaningful connection they shared. Laura's journey of rediscovery was just beginning as she stepped back into her old life, forever changed by her extraordinary experiences.